Moving on through this assignment, we gotta do the next four here. We're gonna use a new f and a new g to do our function adding and subtracting here. On 9, we need to get g first. That's 7x minus 3. And we're gonna add what f of x is, which is negative 2x minus 8. And the addition doesn't do anything to the parentheses, so we can just disregard them. Combine the x's to give us 5x. Combine the subtract 3 and subtract 8 to give us subtract 11. And we got 5x minus 11. On 10, notice how this one's different. It doesn't have an x here. It has a 0. And that number, when you see after the function names, that says put that number in for all the x's. And so if you want to do f minus g, you need to put zeros where those x's are. So there's no more x's. You're just going to put down 0 for your x's. So all these timesing by x stuff just gives you 0. So you got 0 minus 8 in that one. You're going to get 0 minus 3 in that one. You got negative 8 minus negative 3. That's going to be negative 8 plus 3, which is negative 5 for your answer. On 11, you just put g over h. G is 7x minus 3. F is negative 2x minus 8. And that's done. That's all there is to it. On 12, we got to do f times g. And this time we can do it because you're going to put the negative 3 in for all your x's. So we're going to write down, instead of x, we're going to put negative 3 on our functions. 7 times negative 3 minus 3. Okay? Negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6. And 7 times negative 3 is negative 21. Gotta subtract 3 on the end. 6 minus 8 is negative 2. And negative 21 minus 3 is negative 24. Negative 2 times negative 24 is positive 48. So there's our answer. Moving on to the next two. These are on the back. Using the same f and g as before, though. You need to do g minus f. G is 7x minus 3. Subtract f is negative 2x minus 8. You gotta distribute this negative through. We're now going to get 7x minus 3 plus 2x plus 8. Remember, negative and negative makes positive. Combining like terms here, the x's combine to get us 9x, negative 3 and positive 8 combine to give you plus 5. So that one's all done. And on 14, this one you got to do f over g, but notice it's got the 2 there. So you're going to put 2 where all the x's are. We get negative 2 times 2 minus 8 on top of our fraction, and 7 times 2 minus 3 on bottom. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And you gotta subtract 8 on top. You gotta do 14 minus 3 on bottom, because 7 times 2 is 14. And so we're going to get negative 12 on top and 11 on bottom. Negative 12 over 11. Moving on to the story problems on your benchmark, you're going to have a question just like 15 and a question just like 16. Look at your story problem for clues. Okay, whenever you see $2 for every pound, every yard, every mile, something like that, for every, that's a sign that that number goes with your x. And so your first function here that we're representing on the first jump there, it's going to have a 2x. Well, you have to also add on the $75. And I'm going to call this the f function for first. On b, I'm going to call the second jump the g function because, well, that's after f. Again, look for the every, for every, or once a mile, or once a month, something like that. Look for that. This one has it, and it's 3. So we're going to get 3x. And we're going to add on the 35 there. The 35 plus, well, it tells you to plus it. And that's the equation for the second one. If you want to get the total price for 2 jumps, you're going to take these guys and add them together. So you're going to get f of x plus g of x which is 2x plus 75 plus 3x plus 35. Combine like terms, you'll get 5x plus 110. That's going to be your function. This guy. Ta-da! Moving on to 6. The base amount here is 400 and then $3 per person. So that 3 is going to be with your x value. We're going to get 3x. We're going to add on the base amount of $400 to start with. But we don't need just the cost. This is like the total cost. We need to get the average price per person. And so you have to take your total cost and divide by the number of people, which is x. And that's going to be our cost function. We're going to call it C for cost. If I want to get the average of 400 people, I need to get C of 400. And I need to put 400 where all the x's are. So 300 times 400 plus 400, because that's what I had there. And then 400 on bottom. When I calculate this top part, I'm going to have 3 times 400, which is 1200, plus 400 is going to give me 1600 on top, divided by the 400. And that's going to give me just 4. So the average cost for 400 people is $4. And that's it.